Hello book lovers, and welcome back or welcome to Nat Cat's Bookish Cafe. I am here to start my first vlog for my Christmas bingo challenge. Alright guys, so it is December 1st. It is officially the last month of the year, and if you watched my December TBR, you know that I have 12 books on my TBR this month and that they are all placed in this bingo board. So I am hoping that I get through all 12. I will say that I only read 4 books in October and 4 books in November. So reading 3 times as many books as I read the last 2 months might be a little bit of a challenge, but we have relatively short books here and we also have a few KU books, so hopefully they're a little lighter, fluffier, easier to get through. But I just wanted to go ahead and introduce this vlog as well as this bingo board. If you don't know it yet, you will see this quite often throughout these videos, and I'm gonna be honest, I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to vlog this experience. I think the last 2 years I did, but this year I was just a little bit nervous because I just felt like I wouldn't have the time to edit them and get them up, and I was just like, should I do it? But I figured, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. It's tradition, and honestly I need a little bit of accountability to actually do some reading to finally kick this slump out the door. That being said, I have no idea when these videos are coming out. Hopefully it's not February when you're seeing it. If it is, that's terrible, and I'm sorry you had to wait so long and that you're seeing Christmas content in February. You're probably like, what the heck? But hopefully that is not the case. That being said, I'm gonna say something I have said many times before, and you're probably gonna roll your eyes and be like, yeah, right. When pigs fly. And that is, I'm gonna try to keep these weekly vlogs short. Yay! Can we do it? Probably not. The way that I'm going to be trying to do this is not to do as much B-roll. B-roll is always what takes like the longest to film, as I try to make things look aesthetic. My life is like not naturally aesthetic. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have much going on in my life right now, so there's honestly not that much to film, and also it'll make editing a little bit easier because I would say that the B-roll takes the most time because you gotta like line it all up and mush it all together, and then you gotta like mute it, and then you gotta cut it to the length that you want, and then you gotta add music. So the talking scenes are honestly just like a little easier to edit because I just turn them on and then just like zone out while I watch myself blabber. And so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do it that way. Chances are I'll probably sit down about like once a day to tell you a little bit about the books that I'm reading, a little bit about what's going on in my life, and most importantly, we are going to be doing my advent calendar, which is going to be the Nightmare Before Christmas Funko Pop. Yeah, the Funko Pop Christmas calendar. I have had a Nightmare Before Christmas advent calendar before, which was not last year, but in 2023 to 2022. We're still in 2024. Okay, so this is just going to be like a bunch of little Funko Pop versions of the characters from here. So every day until the 25th, obviously, I will go ahead and open one of these and then give you a little update on my life. There will probably be a little bit of B-roll here and there, but just to make life easier for myself, we're going to keep it short and sweet. But before we open the first one of this, let's talk a little bit about books. All right, so I have actually gotten like a little bit of a head start. When I say a little bit, I mean like teensy tiny, and that is that I have started The Criminal Intentions, The Hatter's Game Part 1 by Cole McCade. I have Part 1 and Part 2 on this list, which I'm very excited about. I'm about 50% through this book. I just gave up on my November TBR, and so I decided to go ahead and get a jumpstart on my December TBR. I am enjoying this story very much, though I want to shake Sanjay by his shoulders and tell him to communicate with his boyfriend, because usually these two are so good at communicating, but right now, not so much. And I know that Sanjay is trying to be protective and that he's trying to push Malcolm away for his own protection, his own good, but no, stop doing that. For those who don't know, which means you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. This book is about Malcolm and Sanjay, who are homicide detectives for the Baltimore Police Department. This is the 12th book. There's a total of 13, so I will be finishing this series here this month. Very excited about it, but each of these books is relatively short. It is on KU, and it kind of follows a mystery murder of the week, but there is an overarching plot and a slow burn relationship between our two characters, which is chef's kiss. So I am having a great time with this story. I don't know if I'll finish it today because I still need to film another video. I just filmed my November wrap up, and now I have to film my challenge book for 2025 challenge, and that video is probably going to take quite a while to film, just the way that I set it up, so we will see. But these are usually pretty quick reads for me, just because the text is relatively big, and also I just love the story. So I thought it was good for me to go ahead and start with one of these, because I can usually finish it in 2 to 3 days, and that will give me a good jump start. If we go ahead and look at the bingo board, it's right here in the top right hand corner. I'm trying to think of like how it looks for you. For me, it's the top right hand corner. It might be left hand corner for you guys, I don't know. I'm not going to try and orient myself like that. So I figured that after I finish this book, I would go ahead and read Providence Girls, because that is the one book that is on my Kindle that isn't KU. And then after that, I can go ahead and jump into The Road Home and The Obsidian Feathers, which are both KU books. Both of those are also by an Indigenous author and a Hispanic author, which will help me with my annual goals, which I did not do a very good job of. So chances are I'm probably going to go ahead and focus on this first row here with those 4 books. Will I finish those all this week? I'm not really sure. I'm not very optimistic, but who knows? Miracles can happen. But I just wanted to give you a little idea of what books you can expect to see in this video, or it's probably in the thumbnail, which knows better than me, because that thumbnail is made by future Natalie, who has already read all these books and finished this vlog. So all right, so that is just me introducing you to this vlog. Let's go ahead and finish up this clip with us pulling, let's see if we can make it so that our little light isn't on it, our first Funko Pop. So let's go ahead. This is what it looks like. My light is like, no. Oh, and it's in order, so I don't have to like hunt it down or anything. So let's go ahead and grab it if I can. Just down here. Oh my god, who is that? Oh my god, if I can get him out. Okay, so up first, what is that? Does anyone know what that is? There's no way that's supposed to be like Oogie Boogie Man. There's no way. If I open these and they all end up being like super cheap, I'm gonna be like so mad. But I don't know what this is, because I feel like the closest is Oogie Boogie. No, it can't be Oogie Boogie, because he has like a little hat. So let me think. I just watched the movie like last year, which it's like a year ago, yeah, but like, was there some sort of like creepy little doll? This looks like a creepy little doll thing. I don't know what it is. Well, this is what the first thing is. I don't know what it is. If anyone knows, let me know down in the comments, because I genuinely have like no idea. He's kind of got like a cross stitch kind of, I don't know what the hatch mark. Anyway, he kind of looks like his lips are supposed to be sewn, and it actually looks like one of them is kind of like painted, like the rest were supposed to be painted. Okay, this wasn't like the most expensive thing, so it is possible that they're all just like super cheap quality, but hopefully they're at least recognizable characters in the future. So yeah, that was anticlimactic. I waited so long to open this first box, and it's like, what is that? Okay, well, anyway, I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow. So, welcome to the vlog. All right, so here's our little Christmas village that I was put in charge of putting together. My one little Christmas task. And this will be the Starbucks cup Christmas tree, but the Starbucks cups are not up yet. But here we have our little cocoa drinkers, the cutest piece. And then we have our little family. I don't know if you can really see them in there. And their little house, the carriage, the whatever this is, and the mill house, and of course, the carousel. It looks cozy. Winter Wonderland. All right, guys. We are in a bit of a conundrum here. So I have just finished this book. And I believe earlier today I said that I would start Providence Girls next. But what if, hear me out, what if this book ended on such a cliffhanger that I had to pick up the next one? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm sorry. I finished this one. I do think that I need to go ahead and give it 5 stars because I had a grand old time. Sanjay was pissing me off the entire time, but what can I say? Our poor guy has had a lot of trauma in his life and some toxic relationships that have negatively impacted him. So the important thing is Malcolm is there for him, and now things are very messy and they're not in a good place, and I need them to be in a good place, and I can't just leave it here, okay? So scratch what I said earlier today. I will go ahead and pick up those books after I finish this series because I literally cannot not pick up the next book. So the first book is finished. And now I will be picking up a book that I said I wouldn't pick up. So I will go ahead and probably start that now. It is about 9 o'clock, and I'll probably read for about another half an hour before I get ready to go to bed because it is Sunday, which means tomorrow I get to go back to work, and I believe I have a full week of work, which after only working 2 days this last week due to the holidays is going to be rough. It's going to be a rough week, guys, but we're going to do our best, and I will go ahead and check in with you tomorrow to give you an update on what I am reading, which is not what I said I would be reading, but it's still on my TBR, so I'm really glad I put that book on my TBR, because if I didn't, I probably would have read it anyway, and that would have been very bad. So, yes, I will talk to you tomorrow. All right, guys, so I'm about to eat what I'm hoping is like the last plate of Thanksgiving leftovers, but honestly, not really, because we still have a bunch of stuffing. The stuffing is always like, I love it, but there's so much of it. And then there's a bunch of this, which is lentil loaf, because my sister is, well, she's not really vegan anymore, but she's like vegetarian. And honestly, I don't like turkey. Do any of us like turkey? I feel like turkey is like the least popular thing at Thanksgiving. It's not really my jam. So we make what is called like a lentil loaf, which is like a vegan meatloaf, which, you know, meat eaters are probably like, "Ugh." But it's not too bad, especially if you smother it in gravy. But that being said, I am on my lunch break. It is Monday. I have started this book. I did not end up reading as much yesterday as I wanted to because by the time I put all my book information into my spreadsheets and got ready for bed, it was kind of like 9:40. So I am currently on page 22. I'm hoping to do quite a bit of reading today, especially I'm going to be reading during my lunch break and then probably after work as well, since it's not a gym day. And these books are usually pretty quick for me to read, so it'd be kind of awesome if I finished it today, but I'm not sure if that will happen. But I will go ahead and check in with you guys later today to do our little advent calendar and see if we get a better figurine than we did the first day, and also to give you my thoughts on this book. But I will tell you right now, I am very stressed out, so I'm very eager to spend the next hour working my way through this. All right, guys, so it is Monday evening, a little bit past 8 o'clock at night, and I have gone ahead and finished this entire book. So I read essentially the whole thing, except for the first 10 pages that I read yesterday today. I did not want to put this book down, and I am a little bit excited that I am finishing these two books because I feel like I can't say so much about them because they are the 13th or the 12th and 13th book in a series. So like, what can I say to you? Not much. But I am gonna go ahead and give this 4.5 stars, and maybe a little surprising that it's not a 5-star. It was pretty close to that, but I have to admit I was kind of expecting this season 1 to wrap up a couple things, and it wrapped up like literally nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm more than happy to go ahead and jump into season 2, but I was hoping for some sort of closure on a few plot lines, and we didn't really get that. So it doesn't really feel like a natural ending to season 1, but I guess at the same time, it kind of does. I don't know. But I did take half a star off just because I was like, oh, I thought we would have a little bit more closure than we did, but I guess it is just leaving me more excited to get into season 2. But otherwise, the pacing of this was really good. There was a lot going on. All of our characters were running all over. Their lives were in danger. Things were going crazy. I was stressed. I was very stressed while reading this. There was actually this one part that I almost started tearing up. There was kind of these like protests that were going on, and there was one part where the protests were just kind of turning into a riot, and this character kind of stood on the top of a car with a microphone and was like, hey, we kind of like need to stop doing this. Like, I know you guys don't want to be out here hurting each other and getting hurt. And it was just like this scene where we have all these people that are out here that are just like angry and sad and scared, and they were just like kind of gravitating towards this person and just like looking for guidance on like who can tell them like what they should do and what should happen next, because everything just seems so chaotic and terrible. And I was like, guys, I really relate to how you're feeling right now. Like, I get it. So that was a bit of a heart-wrenching moment for me. I was just like, oh, I know this isn't like a huge part of the story, but I just feel this deep in my soul. So had a good time with this. Done with season 1. So that is me finishing a series. I'm considering this me finishing a series, even though the series continues. And then I will consider season 2 to be like a separate series, even though it's not. But I'm just going to do that for my series stats. Finish with that, which means that I am now officially going to go ahead and jump into Providence Girls. Let me just pull up my laptop here. I'm going to be honest, reading this book wasn't super beneficial for me when it comes to my bingo board, because in order for me to finish this top row, I would have to read I, Robot, which I mean, I hope I get to, but it is probably like the lowest priority of like all the books on my TBR. So if there's like one book I don't get to, it is that one. So just a heads up that I'm not going to pick up iRobot just to finish this bingo here. We are going to go into Providence Girls, and I want to go ahead and pull up the synopsis for this book because I'm going to be totally honest, I don't know what it's about. I think when I did my TBR, I just said it's Sapphic and it has mermaids and it's kind of like a historical horror situation, and that is all I know about it. So let's go ahead and look up an actual synopsis and learn about it together. All right, so the good news is this book seems to only be about 250 pages. So that is relatively short. It says, love changes you, so do the outer gods. So we have some sort of god situation. So it says, in present day, alone in a cottage, Lavina writes to the woman she loved. 15 years ago, middle-aged Lavina escapes her hilly Massachusetts town when the townfolks decide to sacrifice her on Halloween. Ugh. Rude neighbors. After almost dying in the woods, she's saved and housed by a stoic and mysterious Asenath, or Ozzy, on the coastal outskirts of East Province, where they start to fall in love. However, things change when Ozzy, with her secret past and the strange scars on the side of her neck, which I'm assuming are her gills, begins to transform into an eldritch creature of the deep. Okay, so 15 years ago, these women meet. The mermaid one seems to kind of save the other one. And then clearly something happens where in the present day, she's writing to the woman she loves. Like, are they separated or what? I mean, I gotta read it, I guess, to figure out what's going on. But yes, that is the next book I am going to be reading. I guess I'll go ahead and start it tonight. I probably should do some editing, but honestly, I don't feel like it. So let me go ahead and grab my little advent calendar and we'll see what little monstrosity we pull out of that today. All right, guys, so we are on day 2. Let's see if I can get this out like a little bit neater than I did the first one. Oh my god. Come out. It is a little Jack Skellington. Can you see him okay? He's so tiny. I mean, I would say that the quality is definitely not as good as like what they're showing here. Okay, like he's got some pretty intense eyebrows going on, but yeah, so, but that's okay. This was kind of cheap, so I can't be too mad about it. At least I can tell like what character this is, because the first time I'm still wondering if that was Oogie Boogie. I'm honestly thinking that it was, and that maybe they just were lazy with the shapes of the character, which would be kind of lame, but we got a little Jack. So that is for day 2. We are only 2 days into the month, and I have already finished 2 books, which considering I had only finished 2 books by like the 15th of November, we are definitely doing better this month. Yeah, we are definitely doing better. I would like to say that I'm out of a slump, but I said that last time I read a Cole McCade book, so we'll see if I stay out of the slump. Sometimes I just get out of a slump for Cole McCade and then I just go back into the slump. But fingers crossed that this time I am ready to do some serious reading. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my Kindle and we'll see what Providence Girls is all about. Hello everyone. It is a Tuesday evening. I just got back from the gym and rinsed off, so I'm no longer sweaty. Yay to that. I just wanted to do my daily check-in. I did not do as much reading today because I ended up editing a video during my lunch break and then watching that video through during one of my 15-minute breaks. I did go to the gym today and do some cardio, so I did about 45 minutes of reading there on the treadmill. I will say I try to do some more reading on the Stairmaster, but the really annoying thing about Kindle is that the little power button is like down here at the bottom. So those little shelves that they have on the gym equipment where you can like set your phone or your Kindle, if it doesn't have like the little splits, which it does on the treadmill machine, treadmill, I keep saying treadmill. That is a bad habit that I tried to break a few years ago. Treadmill. But the Stairmaster has like a full shelf with no hole in it, so when I set it down it like presses on this button and holds it, and so it always restarts my Kindle every time I set it there. So I ended up not reading more, which is also why I'm kind of like in the middle of a chapter right now, but I just wanted to go ahead and check in before I sat down to eat dinner and kind of relax for the night. So I am reading Providence Girl. I am 17% through the book right now. I'm only on page 43, so like I said, haven't gotten too much reading done. A bit of a synopsis because the synopsis itself was kind of vague and wishy-washy, but we are following Vin and Ozzy, I want to say is how you say her name. I may be saying it wrong, but that's how I'm going to say it. So Vin, I believe, I'm hoping I'm not getting my characters flip-flopped. I'm pretty sure I'm not. I believe Vin comes from a very poor town that seems to be very patriarchal and potentially cultish. It's definitely very religious, but the way that they talk about it doesn't seem like traditional religion. And when I say traditional religion, I guess I'm saying like the acceptable forms of religion, like Christianity or anything along those lines. It is more like cultish and human sacrifice potentially. And it kind of seemed like she was running away from her home because the men of her village wanted to sacrifice her. She is also albino and she is almost 40 years old. So she is an older protagonist, and she has mentioned on a few occasions that she has children, that she gave birth to twins. Now she's kind of only talked about one of the twins, so I don't know if the other one died or just wants nothing to do with her, but either way, she is technically a mother. I don't know if she has a husband. She has kind of mentioned a husband, but she also kind of mentioned being married to like a god, so I'm not really sure. The writing style sometimes makes it very difficult to like pinpoint what's going on. It seems like sometimes the characters are kind of dancing around events in their life and not like spelling it out. So that's kind of what I'm getting. She was running away. She ran for days through the woods, and after she like collapsed from exhaustion, Ozzy, which I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but it's Azzie, and that's not like her actual name, that's just her nickname, but I'm just calling them by their nicknames because they're easier. So she finds her and she kind of recruits two of the men in the area to pick her up and carry her to her house, and the doctor comes and's like, hey, she's gonna need some time to recover, and she's like, is she gonna recover here in my house? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, okay, fine. So the way that the story is set up is that, by the way, Ozzy is about 27, I think she said, so there is definitely at least a 10 plus year age gap between the two women, but she seems to have come from a wealthy family and kind of left that all behind because she came from a wealthy family that was residing in a dying, cursed coastal town, and now she lives a very isolated life. So she's not really used to having someone in the home. But this is written in a epistolary format, which is like when it's written in letters. Vin is writing in the present day. So if you remember from the synopsis, we are following these women as they first meet and then 15 years later. And I believe they met in like 1933. So it is a historical setting, and Vin is writing in the present day, and she is kind of like, both of them are talking about the timeline of their relationship. So essentially, so far what I've read is they're kind of talking about their first day together when the two of them met for the first time and were kind of, you know, sussing each other out and everything, and kind of talking about what their initial reactions are and how they assume the other interpreted it, those interactions, and how they apologize for coming across in a certain way. It was just, you know, due to the way that they were raised. Then we are also following Ozzy, who is writing letters 15 years in the past from when Vin is writing her letters. But the difference, while they're kind of writing the same thing, is that for Ozzy, she is very ill. The thing is, based off of the cover, I'm assuming it's more of a transformation that is causing her to be ill, transformation into some sort of sea creature, some eldritch sea creature, and it's causing her a lot of pain, and she just knows that she's not going to be around for much longer, so she's writing these letters for Vin and told Vin that she can read the letters after she has lived her life. And now it's 15 years down the line. Vin has kind of felt like she has lived her life, but she's not quite ready to open those letters yet from Ozzy. Instead, she kind of wants to write her own account of their time together before doing so. So that's kind of, I feel like I got kind of explained that very confusingly, but it's also written, I don't want to say confusingly, but it's definitely very poetic and purple prose. And like I said, we're very much dancing around what we actually want to say and just, you know, vaguely implying things. So that is how the story is going. I would say it doesn't make for the quickest read, but I am, for the most part, enjoying the writing. I do think it is a bit of an interesting story. I hope we get to learn a little bit more about our women's past. Both of them seem like they definitely come from unpleasant father figures. Neither of them had fathers that were very good to them, and they definitely are born in a time when women are looked down upon, and they both seem to be people that want their freedom. So yeah, I would say that I'm pretty interested in our characters. I'm interested to see where their relationship goes, because it seems like it's definitely gonna turn romantic, but just the way that Vin kind of like apologizes for never like fully no, not Vin, sorry, Ozzy apologizes for never really opening up to Vin all the way. I kind of feel like even at the end of their relationship, there still might have been like some uncertainty between the two of them, where they were kindred spirits, as they've already mentioned a few times. But at the same time, both of them just have so much trauma in their past that maybe they just couldn't fully come together. So hopefully, even if they couldn't fully come together 15 years ago, if they reunite here in the future, which I'm assuming and hoping that they do, things will be better there. But again, so far enjoying the book, not even 25% through it. And if you are looking for a book that has an older protagonist, maybe even one who has children, even though the children aren't really part of the story, being a mother and the threat of motherhood has definitely shaped her as a person, because I'm not 100% sure if who the father is and, you know, kind of how the children came to be, considering she comes from a really crappy background. It's definitely possible that they weren't conceived in a consensual way. And also she mentioned that she had a lot of fear about dying during childbirth. So that's not often something that you see in a romance. I have a feeling that this is not going to be as much romance as it is going to be kind of more horror and historical fiction, but I am looking forward to seeing how these two women get along. But that is my update for today, and since I have done my updates, we are going to pick out our next little cretin here to see what day number 3 brings. I have no idea what to expect. Like, is it gonna be cute? Is it gonna be ugly? What is it? What the heck? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I feel like I got scammed. Look at this. It's the witch, but like just the coloring. They didn't color her at all other than her hat. Wow. I'm trying to remember how much I paid for this. I think it might have only been like $26. So honestly, I'm getting $26 worth of tiny figurines, and it's just more at this point for entertainment to see what little ugly creature I'm gonna get than anything else. But this is hilarious. I of course wish they were cuter so that I actually had a desire to keep them. You know, if I had like a bunch of tiny cute Funko Pops, that would be super cute. I will not be keeping this. I mean, look at her. Even she is upset with how she looks. Oh my gosh. But yes, all right. That is our ugly little Funko Pop for the day, and I will check in with you guys later. All right, our ring light is working overtime, but we are going for ambiance vibes here. So it is Wednesday evening. I got off work a little while ago and I just wanted to do my daily check-in. Now, I don't have too much to say about my book. I'm now 26% through it, page 64. So I'm only about 20 more pages into it than I was last time I checked in, because I thought it was around 40 something pages. So I'm still enjoying it, still having a good time with it, but I really don't have too much more to say on it. So I'm not going to say anything on it. Today, I want to go ahead and decorate my shelf, which is behind you, with my Christmas decorations. I just feel like it is time to do that. I was gonna do it this weekend, but honestly, it just feels kind of weird to be listening to Christmas music and have the rest of the house decorated for Christmas and me still having fall stuff up. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can go ahead and decorate that. I did just stand up from my chair and got like a really big cramp in like my glute and back thigh area, which was very unpleasant. I just did some stretching, so it's a little bit better, but I think yesterday when I went to the gym, I kind of did that thing where you like walk backwards on the inclined treadmill, which is supposed to be really good for your knees because I have crappy knees, but it's not something that I'm used to doing very often, and I did have it at a higher speed than I usually do, so my muscle might have been like, I'm not really used to doing this, so I don't know what that was. But we are trying to have healthy knees here because they are absolute crap. But as long as my leg doesn't give out on me, I will go ahead and head out in the garage and grab my tub of Christmas stuff. I don't have too much when it comes to decorations, so it should be a relatively quick process for me to get that rotated to the next season. Other than that, today was a pretty good day, pretty chill work day. We had our weekly meeting today, which is usually for for about an hour, and I was the one who was leading the meeting with a team activity. I decided to do like a relaxation script. Essentially, it's for like progressive muscle relaxation, I believe is what it's called. It's kind of like when you like were to like squeeze your muscles really tight and then relax them. So it's a good way to get like build up stress out of your body. So I went ahead and did that for them, and they quite enjoyed that. That was something that my therapist did with me. We use a script from the VA, veterans, what is it called? Veteran Affairs, is that what the VA stands for? But they use it for their veterans who have PTSD. I find it quite helpful. I definitely don't use it enough. It's something I need to find like a video or something of someone speaking that out, because obviously I can't really do it for myself if I'm reading the script myself, but it is a good tool for all of us who may have a lot of anxiety, especially, you know, with the end of the year. I always get a little bit more stressed with all the things that are needing to be done. So it's a good coping mechanism. And then I just did some trivia with them to fill up the rest of the time. And my team loves trivia, and I'm glad for them because I'm too dumb for trivia. I really am. Sometimes they know the answer to questions and I'm like, I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have I wouldn't have known that. Like, you could have given me 1,000 guesses and I would have never gotten that. But you know, some people are just good at remembering things, and I'm not one of those people. You know, if I don't use a certain piece of information on a semi-regular basis, then I'm not gonna remember it. So, but that is a me problem. Other than that, I did have therapy today, which went really well. It was a really good session. I am just so thankful that I started therapy this year. Who knows where I would have been if I didn't. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like sitting up there, but the Atomic Habits book is up there, and I had read another chapter of that last month towards the end of November, and he was kind of talking about we need to go ahead and track what our current habits are. Are they good habits? Are they neutral habits? Are they bad habits? And kind of figure out which habits we want to change. And so I kind of started doing that this week, where I started writing out some of the things that I am like doing and then color coding them, like what are my bad habits and what are neutral habits and what are good habits. And so I told her I was kind of doing that right now because I, you know, want to change some of my habits, especially when it comes to like my sleep schedule and my ability to wake up. Because right now I set my alarm for 6 o'clock, and I kid you not, I hit snooze until 7:40 sometimes, like over an hour and a half of snoozing. And we all know at this point that snoozing is not good because it starts the sleep cycle, but then it breaks the sleep cycle, and so you wake up more tired. But I keep doing that, and so that's a bad habit of mine. Another bad habit of mine is that when I first wake up, I check my phone. That's like the first thing that I do, and I need to stop doing that. Can't just check Instagram and doom scroll first thing in the morning. And then kind of I would rather go to bed at 9:30, have lights out at 9:30 rather than 10 o'clock. So she suggested that I kind of change when I wake up. She's like, do not set your alarm at 6 o'clock if you're not gonna wake up at 6 o'clock. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna wake up at 6 o'clock. So I'm not really sure yet what I want to do about that. My thing is I want time in the morning to like wake up and get ready at a reasonable pace and maybe have some time for reading. So I think what I'm gonna do is I don't really want to set my alarm for like 7:30 because that's what she suggested. She's like, just go to 7:30 for a while and wake up when the alarm goes off. Don't hit snooze, and then you can back it up a little to like 7:15 and then 7 o'clock. So I might try that. I don't like the idea of waking up at 7:30 when I have to be at work at 8, but at this point I'm not waking up until after 7:30 anyway because I'm hitting snooze so often. So I think we'll go ahead and give that a try. We'll see how that works out, because right now it's just not good for me to like wake up at 7:40 and then get on my phone for like 10 minutes and then have 10 minutes to brush my teeth, wash my face, and get changed and run into the office. Luckily, I work from home, but you know, still, it's just not a morning routine that I like. So yes, that is kind of like what I'm working on right now with that's kind of going on in the background. So we'll see. Unfortunately, that does mean that in the mornings I don't really have time to read, which is probably one of the reasons that I've been reading a little bit less here in the last few months, just because I've been so physically exhausted that my days are shorter because I'm sleeping more. So that is a bit of a bummer and something that I'm hoping to change, because I definitely don't like that. But that is just me jabbering about my life a little bit here, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what's little creature we pull out on day 4. And then we will go ahead and get some Christmas decorating underway. Open it. What is this? It looks like a pumpkin. It's like a little pumpkin head. Okay, he's playing hard to get right now. They're like in at the most awkward angles. There we go. There we go. I got him. Okay. So this is like a little man whose head is a pumpkin. And I don't know if this is supposed to be like Jack, you know, when in the beginning before he falls into the cauldron, you know, he's like the pumpkin king. I'm assuming it's supposed to be him. But once again, I mean, what is with that yellow suit? He looks like he's wearing a yellow onesie, like a little baby. Oh my gosh, these things, they're just so fugly. This is not what I wanted, but luckily I'm just like, at this point, I'm more amused. I mean, obviously I'm disappointed, you know, they promised a certain product and obviously they did not deliver on that, which is kind of shitty of them, but you know, that's what happens when you fall for the Instagram ads. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, and this time it didn't, so that's fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab those Christmas decorations, and I guess you will probably watch me decorate my shelves. I have no idea, I have no plan. We're gonna go for it. Say hello. Say I'm super cute. Oh, Mama's hair looks really greasy. She should be showering instead of putting up Christmas decorations. What? All right, what are we gonna do, huh? What's the plan, man? So we've got these for sure. Get this untangled. Oh my God. All right, so I definitely definitely need to buy like more Christmas stuff because like all I have is these little trees and they're kind of about it. And these little candle holders, these little green guys here, and then obviously my little village. But we of course have our little rope here with our little snowman, and then we have our little let it snow guy. I did leave the little oh my god, this I taped because it's not long enough, so I might need to tape that a little bit better in just a moment. But I did keep the little squirrels because they're just so cute and squirrels live year long, all year long. So here they are. This is with my little snowman. This is probably my favorite part because I absolutely adore this guy. I bought him earlier this year. You've probably seen him sitting down here in this corner in a couple of videos, but for this I just did the tree, the Santa candle, this little candle holder, and down here another candle holder and a couple trees. And I decided to stack these guys so that we could squeeze this thing in here. How's that gonna look in videos? Well, you'll probably not even see these guys, but that's okay. And then we have our little skiing girl up there, and that is it, guys. That the Christmas decorations are definitely a little bit lacking. So maybe I'm overdue for a trip to like Target or Michael's, because with my Halloween stuff, I get most of my Halloween stuff from Michael's. Of course, it being December, they might not have many decorations at this point anymore, but I need to go to Target anyway to buy some new bed sheets because I mean, the bed sheets I have are fine. I just have had them for a while and I've just wanted to mix it up a little. So these are my shelves. They're not terrible. They're not amazing. I've done what I can with what I have, and at least we now have Christmas stuff in my room instead of fall stuff. So I'm gonna go eat some dinner, and I will talk to you later. Alright guys, what I'm about to say is completely random. You guys are currently sitting in our fruit basket leaning against some apples. So hope you're enjoying life. But we get like this little thing here that shows us all the different peanuts we can get. And let's just talk about two of them, specifically the honey roasted peanuts. I love honey roasted peanuts. Honestly, I need to learn to do them myself because this is $40 for a tin of peanuts. Like, I don't want to spend that much for peanuts. I know nuts cost a lot of money, even just the regular ones, but I am definitely interested in these. But then I saw right below them, honey roasted sriracha peanuts. If I had a credit card, I'd be like, ting, ting, ting. Take my money. Like, oh my gosh, I love sriracha so much. My parents like always tease me because it's like increased my spice tolerance because I'm a white person, so I don't tolerate spicy food very much, but since I fell in love with sriracha, I can handle it a lot better. So sometimes when I cook, my parents are like, and I'm like, y'all just got that Caucasian taste bud disease going on. Y'all need to learn to handle some spice. But I'm trying to decide if I should try to convince my parents to get me a $40 container of peanuts. Should I do it? You know, gotta live a little bit here, guys. Gotta live and enjoy the peanuts. So that was a completely random thing, but you know, I was sitting here making some lunch, and because I'm hungry, I saw these peanuts and they caught my attention. So let me know if you guys like ever eat any sort of like fancy nuts or anything, and if you do, what flavor you like, because they got like a bajillion gillion of them. I mean, look at this whole page. I mean, they got bold and spicy Bloody Mary nuts, like the drink. That's crazy. Dill pickle. They do have barbecue. I don't like barbecue flavored things. I always feel like it leaves a weird aftertaste in your mouth where you're like, I stopped eating this like an hour ago and it's still in my mouth and I don't want it to be. So yeah, they got plenty of cool things here, and I'd love to know, what kind of nuts do you like in the PG version of nuts? Hello, I'm coming to you all sweaty. I don't think you can actually tell that much. I guess I didn't work that hard at the gym, but I am going to jump under the shower in just a moment. But I wanted to go ahead and film an update before I did that, because I'm going to shower, I'm going to have my hair in my little turban, and then I'm going to be eating dinner, and then I'm going to be going to sleep. I mean, not right. There's a cat requiring entrance into the bedroom. Say hello, it's you. He's like, this is not what I asked for when I came into this bedroom. But as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was saying, now he wants to go out of the bedroom. You can stay here for just like a few minutes, okay? Yeah, you can. You really can. So, I was saying I was gonna go to bed, and then I was saying I'm not gonna go to bed right after dinner, but your girl is tired. I'm feeling a little bit more awake now that I've worked out, which is probably a bad thing, because I know, I do hear you. I really do. I'm just ignoring you. But this morning, for the first time, I went ahead and changed it so that my alarm went off at 7:30. And I will say I woke up feeling a lot more rested, which is a good sign. But I definitely don't want to become the kind of person that wakes up at 7:30 when I have to be at work at 8, because it was still a little bit rushed, especially since, yes darling, I still have my bad habit of scrolling on my phone for like 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, which I need to not do. He's like plop and like rolling around. He's being very dramatic right now. Yeah, you are. But the good news is that I felt a lot more like awake this morning, since I didn't hit snooze and then start my sleep cycle and then break my sleep cycle every time the snooze button went off. So that is a good start to things. I think maybe for like about a week or so, maybe I'll wake up at 7:30 and then I'll push it back to 7:15 and maybe do that for another week or so, and then push it back to 7. I really would love to be someone who woke up earlier, especially since I'm not someone who stays up very late, especially since nowadays I'm trying to go to bed like lights out at 9:30. So I just kind of, especially on a work day, he's like digging at that door. So I apologize if you can hear the door rattling. But especially since I work from like 8 to 5, I feel like I only have those few hours at the end of the day, and preferably like an hour or 2 hours in the morning, which right now is not the case. So I'm just like missing out on just time to live my life and do things that I want to do. So that's kind of why I'm fussing around with my sleep schedule, but we'll just Oh my goodness. Let me let him out because he's just distraught. You are distraught. You really are. You want to go out, baby? All right, that's cats for you. They want you to let them into the room, and then they want you to let them out of the room 5 seconds later. Better to just leave the door open, but you know, my parents are out there watching TV and stuff, so I wanted to close the door while I filmed this, and he was not having that, so just living in my cat's world. So that is a little update on my sleep schedule, which of course still means I don't really have time to read in the morning, but you know, I'm trying to build up a tolerance for waking up a little earlier, preferably an hour or so before I have to go to work. So hopefully soon I will have like 30-40 minutes or so to get some reading done in the morning, because it's a good way to start out the day. On top of that, anything else? Oh, today my supervisor, this probably doesn't really matter to you, but came to a very big shock. Came as a very big shock to me, and that is that my supervisor has accepted a promotion to a different position. Technically, she's still within the state and kind of within, I believe, healthcare authority, just like a different department than us. So she is working on a project that will be helping people re-enter society, essentially, who have been in prison for a while, kind of making sure that usually like about 30 days before their release date, there are certain steps that need to be taken to make sure that they aren't just being thrown out onto the street or anything, because of course I believe that Washington has done a lot with their prison system to decrease the number of reoccurring offenders. So I think this is just another step in that, to make sure that people are, you know, able to successfully integrate back into society, and that way they don't feel the need to reoffend, because they're not like, well, I can't get a job and I ain't got nowhere to live, so I'm gonna go steal something or commit a crime because that's the only way I have to survive. So she's really excited about that program. I think it's a great program. Her process to go into that position is a little bit rushed because our state is going into a bit of a hiring freeze due to some budget issues, thanks to a certain transition that is occurring higher up the political hierarchy. So luckily it seems that program was pre-approved, because I don't think it would be a priority with our current president. Criminals and lower income people don't really seem to be his priority. So luckily my job is not at this point threatened. That's something I'm very thankful for, because there definitely are going to be some shifts in the budget, and as someone who works with a welfare program, I was a little nervous, and our director has definitely been sending out a lot of emails like, it's okay guys, like, you know, we're gonna keep you up to date on everything. So you can definitely tell that some people are nervous for some of the changes that are going to be coming, and possibly not the best changes when it comes to helping our less fortunate here in the state. But me and my department, we're just going to go ahead and keep chugging and helping people the best way that we can. That's kind of all that we can do, and I am at this point not like stressed about losing my job or anything. Will I be getting any big pay raises in the next 4 years? No, probably not. I mean, my department doesn't make any money, so I'm not used to getting a lot of pay raises. I mean, we got some during like COVID and stuff, but yeah, no, probably not. But yeah, that is kind of what's going on in my work situation. We will have a temporary supervisor. Her last day, my supervisor, is tomorrow, so it really was like a last minute change. Her last official day was actually supposed to be the 16th, but she's going to Hawaii for vacation, so tomorrow is her last day. And it's really hard for me because she was not my first supervisor here at this position, but I mean, the first supervisor I had was only for like a couple months. She retired pretty quickly after she hired me onto the team. And Ruth, my supervisor, was kind of my main support system throughout everything. I've been working at this place since 2018, so before, during, and after COVID. Obviously, if you've been around here, you know I had a pretty rough mental health crisis earlier this year, and that did impact my work a little bit. Needed to take some additional time off and had to start using like paid family leave for therapy appointments and additional doctor's appointments to kind of get on like proper medication and things like that. And she was just really supportive of me the whole time. And before her, I didn't have the best experience with managers. I've only had like one other manager because I was at one job for 4 years before I went to this job. My last supervisor was not my favorite. I mean, I worked at a sandwich shop and he was the son of the owner, and he would kind of like come in and crack open a beer and be like, "Can you make me this sandwich?" And then I would be there making him a sandwich, and he's like, "You're German, right? Did you know that they still have like unexploded mines that the Nazis put out there?" And I was like, "Bruh, just because I'm German, you don't need to be talking about the Nazis with me." While I'm making you a sandwich and you're sitting there like drinking a beer. I was like, I feel sorry for all the wives of the world that have to go through this every day. But yes, sorry, that was a very long rant about my work life and my supervisor. But you know, it was just something that happened today and was very shocking. So I was like, oh, okay, goodbye. But yeah, like I said, we'll have a temporary supervisor for a while. They're not sure when we'll get a permanent one due to the hiring freeze that's happening. So my team might be kind of free floating, but my team is team number one. Like we're literally like the number one team. Like literally we're team one, but we're also like the highest producing team, and we see the highest number of people promoting like to higher positions out of our team. Like we're pretty great, so I think we'll be just fine. I think we're gonna be okay. But yes, that being said, I do want to go ahead and give you an update on actual books, because that's what this is. It's a book channel. So I have finally gotten 50% through the book. In fact, a little bit more than that, to be specific, 59%, page 146. I wanted to get to page 150 today, so we are essentially there. I am reading this book a little bit slower than I anticipated. I'm not really complaining about that because I am enjoying the story. I think that it is definitely a slower paced story. I would say now we are not really like speeding up, but we're seeing a bit more time jumps in the beginning. For about the first 25% of the book, at least, we were kind of just watching them during those first 2 days that they were together. So the author was really spending a lot of time kind of developing that initial relationship between these two women, which I did quite enjoy, especially as we learn more about these women. Both of them have been through a lot of trauma. We learned a little bit more about Vin's trauma, which was something I unfortunately expected. It was something that I was like, I think that this is what happened, and that is unfortunately what happened. So that was not a pleasant scene to go through. It was not overly detailed, but you definitely knew exactly what was happening. And there are trigger warnings for sexual assault in this book with an incestuous twist. So just a heads up for that. Asi's, I still don't know if I'm saying her name right, her trauma, we seem to be getting hints at it. She keeps saying that there are these years, like whole years, that she just can't really bring herself to write about, and I'm not sure if she will write about it or if she will eventually tell Vin and then Vin will write about it. But she talks a lot about having a fear of her body not being her own, and it seems to be much deeper than just her transforming into this eldritch monster. It seems almost as if there were blackouts that she had for long periods of time where maybe she wasn't 100% in control of herself, but we haven't really dived into that. I have a feeling once we do, it's going to be rather disturbing because it seemed to have happened before the age of 12, so she was very young, and this has obviously negatively impacted her. And I wouldn't say that this book is in any way like trauma porn or trauma dumping, but both of our women have gone through a lot and experienced a lot of grief, and this has definitely impacted them. And because they were so alone in a way, they are kind of for the first time able to like actually unpack this trauma with someone, and with someone who actually like empathizes with them. So that is a lot of what's going on in this book and what our two are discussing. And then on the other hand, it's also very domestic. We have these women who are talking about their trauma. One of them is essentially turning into a fish. But on the other hand, they're going to the beach and working in the garden, and they're checking out a restaurant because one of them's never been in a restaurant before, and they're sitting in front of the hearth and making pie. And so there is a very domestic aspect to this story as well that makes it kind of cozy. Right now, I would say it's kind of set, for the most part, at least in the beginning, in late fall, kind of winter vibes. So it is kind of a good time of year for me to be reading this book. And I do really like the vibes of the story. I think the author's her writing really matches the ambiance of the story. So I am continuing to have a good time with it. I'm really enjoying learning about our characters. Here in the second half, it's definitely become a bit more romantic. They have kind of started to kiss a little. We just had our first sex scene between the two of them. I know that Ozzy was very reluctant to make any moves on Vin after she learned about Vin's sexual assault. And at the same time, she's like, I don't really know how long I will be able to have normal sexual interactions as my body kind of deteriorates. So I enjoyed their scene together. There was this one scene where Vin took Ozzy's gloves off with her teeth, and Ozzy was like, oh my god. And I was like, oh my god, she just took her gloves off with her teeth. Like, I don't know, something about that is just really sexy. So I'm really enjoying the story so far. Even though I'm reading it slow, I don't mind spending more time with these two women as they find a safe space in each other. It kind of seems like none of them ever had a safe space. Both of them seem to have bad relationships with their fathers, but good relationships with their mother. But at the same time, their mother, it seems like, was either too sick or too dead to really be there for them. So they kind of really are, for the first time, feeling like they're safe with someone, and they're very eager to have that. And maybe in the beginning they might have been not as open about their eagerness to have this safe space, but at the same time you could really see how quickly the two of them clicked and how quickly they saw each other as kindred spirits. So having a good time with this, and we'll continue to read. I mean, I was actually kind of hoping that I could finish it by tomorrow, but I don't think that's gonna happen, considering I still have, at this point, I have about 100 pages left, I think. And tomorrow, while it being Friday, I do want to run some errands after work. I have postponed my run to Target for a little too long, and I have some books I need to drop off at the library. So I think I'm gonna do that, and that might take away from my reading time a little. But this video is gonna go until Saturday evening. I should by then at the very least finish this book. I was kind of hoping to finish 4 books in this vlog. Don't think that's gonna happen, but it would be nice if I could at the very least start my 4th vlog. Or not my 4th vlog, my 4th book. All right, we have been talking for about 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and check out our fugly little Funko Pop of the day. We are on the 5th of the month, and let's see what it has to offer. Oh, I see a Santa suit. I honestly kind of thought they would save this one for the 25th. These are so hard to get out. Get out. All right, I'm gonna make him do a headstand. Oh, this one's kind of cute, actually. He's kind of cute because he's got like a little beard and he's got his little Santa hat, but like he's bald. Like where's his little bummel? Like the little puff thing that like it's just, oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I think from the front he still looks kind of cute. I don't know if you can, gotta do the beauty guru? No, guru. Pretty sure that's something you need. Beauty, whatever. Okay, we're gonna do this. I don't know language. I don't know English. So this one isn't too bad, but I'm surprised he came so early in the month. But without further ado, I'm gonna go shower. I'm getting hungry. I want food, and I will most likely check in with you guys tomorrow evening. Alright guys, it is finally Friday evening. Yay! It has been a long week. No surprise considering I think I only worked 2 days last week. So it's always hard to go from a partial week to like a full week. I was like, I need to ease back into this, you know, go from like a 2-day week and then a 3-day week, 4-day week, and then we'll go to a 5-day week. But it is over. I just got back from Target. I dropped off some books at the library. Went to Target, bought way more than I was planning to, which is just what happens sometimes when you go to Target. And then I went to Michael's and was gonna look at their Christmas decorations, but they barely had anything. Like their stuff was like completely picked over. In fact, their Christmas stuff was already on sale. I was like, isn't it like the first week of December? Why are you already putting Christmas stuff on sale? I'm just always, I guess, waiting too late into the season to buy seasonal things. I mean, I know how stores work at this point. I should know better, but oh well. That being said, I just wanted to do a quick haul for you guys. Before I do that, as far as my book goes, I haven't done too much reading today. I mean, I read during my break and during my lunch and all that jazz, but me being a slow reader, an hour and a half of reading doesn't get me much progress. I am on page 192, page 77, so it is looking like I will go ahead and be taking this book into the weekend. So I'll probably just finish 3 books in this vlog. I am determined though to finish this book before this vlog ends. I don't have too much more to say other than the fact that there was a development that I was not happy about. I was like, that is so rude. You're being so mean to this character. Just leave her alone. Just like stop traumatizing her. Let her have a little smidge of joy in her life. So I was a little bit distraught about that. But otherwise, our characters have faced a bit of a hurdle in their relationship, and they are now in the process of kind of overcoming that hurdle. So we'll see where the rest of the relationship is going. It seems like our character Ozzy, her condition is definitely worsening, so we'll see how much longer she can stick around before she needs to head out to sea. But I'm continuing to enjoy the story. I'm not sure how much I will read tonight. It depends on if me and my family watch like a movie or something. We don't really have any plans. I don't really have any movies that I want to watch because I'm just not a huge movie person. But that being said, that is my mini update. Now let's go ahead and jump into the haul, and then we will go ahead and see what little fugly Funko Pop we get for the day. All right, I feel like I'm not quite centered. There we go. I'm sorry if that was annoying you because it was kind of annoying me. I just want to be like in line with this. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start with what I got from Michael's because I only got one thing, and that is this deer. He's like made out of felt, and I just think he is such a gorgeous color of green. At this point, I have no idea where I'm gonna put him, but he is gonna find a home somewhere on my shelf, and he was 60% off. So that was nice. He was still like $10, but you know, it's fine. Whatever. I like him. I like his color. So that is the one Christmas decoration that I was able to find in their very picked over Christmas section. Moving on to Target, the one reason I really went there was because I wanted to buy some new sheets, specifically some kind of Christmassy ones, wintry ones, and I got these. I hope I'm showing them because I'm covering my face so I can't see my camera. Has like a little cabin, and I really like this color of green. I have another pair of sheets that have a design that is in this green color. I think it matches well with my room, and also I just like this color, so I went ahead and snatched this bad boy up. Then I went over to their book section to see if they had the book that I wanted to get my supervisor for Christmas, and also I guess as a thank you farewell gift. Unfortunately they didn't have it, but I did end up buying a book for myself. This was a book that I feel like just the other day, like in the last day or two, I saw someone mention it, and I'm not even sure if they read it, if they liked it, or they didn't like it. I'm not sure, but the cover just really caught my attention, and I don't often do cover buys, but for this one I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. And that is going to be Blue Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon. I mean, I think I kind of showed it maybe in my B-roll, but just look at this and the sprayed edges, and then it has like this cute little art here, and I believe like they're there in the moon, and then this is the cover. So that just seems really super cute. It is a monster romance, which I've had pretty good luck with. I'm trying to think if I've ever read a Minotaur romance. I'm pretty sure when I was reading Catherine Moon, is that her name? Let me see, I got her, yeah, Catherine Moon for her, was it also called Monstrous series? I'm not sure, but the first one is Lady of Rooksgrave Manor. In the third book, I want to say, one of the love interests is a minotaur, but that is like a reverse harem. I'm not sure if I ever read a one-on-one romance with a minotaur, but I do find it intriguing. I do enjoy monster romance. This one seems to involve a woman who wants to go ahead and get into a guild that deals with magical artifacts, but she needs to go ahead and pass a test as well as have a chaperone while she is studying for this test, I believe. And I think her family is like facing some sort of like financial ruin, and she's like, I don't want to be broke. So that's why she's doing this. And this man right here needs to find a wife because he goes through, I don't know what it's called. I'm assuming they say, I don't know. They don't really mention it, but essentially he like, I would almost say it was like a breeding frenzy kind of situation where he just gets like bonkers horny. But he is the kind of person who doesn't want to use prostitutes for this. He wants like to just be with one woman. So he's like, hey, if you marry me and let me bang you for 24 hours straight, or I don't know what's gonna go on, I will go ahead and be your chaperone. And she's like, I'm down with that, you know. I guess she's down with a fun time with a minotaur. And obviously, as they spend time together, they start to develop a relationship. I believe this is going to be a series because it says, I think it said it was the first book, but I was just in love with this cover. It was only $21, even though the original is $30 because Target has their little 30% off. And I was like, for, you know, like a book this beautiful, and that, as far as I know, is relatively new, $21 is a pretty good price. So I went ahead and snatched it up. I don't think I've ever read this book, this author before. Oh, Ali Hazelwood went ahead and blurbed it, so that is good. And Ruby Dixon is an author of all things science fiction, fantasy, romance. She is a Sagittarius, me too, and a Raylo shipper. I guess that's why Ali Hazelwood was here blurbing it. I have to admit, I don't 100% know who Raylo is, which is why Ali Hazelwood's books never bothered me. I feel like a lot of people are like, I just can't get those characters out of my head. And I'm like, I don't know who she's talking about. So that doesn't bother me at all. So she loves farming sims, but not actual housework. Honestly, I can kind of relate. She lives in the South with her husband and a couple of goofy cats and can't think of anything else to put in her biography. Truly, she is boring, but she's out here hopefully writing non-boring books. So that is the one book I went ahead and bought, and now I will try not to buy myself any more books. I will say that I bought some books from Aardvark, I believe is what the book box is called, earlier this week, but that probably won't come in until a later vlog. But I just want you to know that I bought those before I bought this and before I said I'm not buying any more books. A couple of boring things. Mouthwash, the store brand, obviously, because I like compared the ingredients between the store brand and the who makes it, something with an L, Lucerne, whatever. Anyway, and they were the exact same ingredients, even though this one was like a few dollars cheaper. So I always get this one, and I use my mouthwash every morning, and my dentist loves me. I also floss every night. So just a reminder, guys, dental hygiene is very important, especially for us stomach issue girlies, because all that gross bacteria in your mouth, when you swallow, guess where it goes? And if your tummy is already upset, you don't want none of that there. And then I bought some little frozen dumplings, which are not going to be frozen much longer because they've been sitting in my warm car. Pork and vegetable. This is mostly just because I'm hoping to buy some of the Trader Joe's fried rice soon, and if I'm looking for an easy lunch, I can make that. Then I went ahead and bought myself some clothes. I hardly ever buy clothes anymore. I'm not really sure why. I used to really love you know, getting dressed and kind of considered myself a little bit of a fashionista and going shopping. But nowadays, I just really struggle with it. I'm not sure if it's because I struggle with like my body image or if it's because I just prefer to shop in person, and I feel like it's kind of hard to do that nowadays. Like most shopping is available online, and I hate online shopping because I'm the kind of person who will bring 12 things into a dressing room and I will walk out and buy one of them. Like, I'm very picky. I'm the kind of person who's going around the store like feeling material. Like, if I don't like the material, I'm not gonna put it on my body. Like, what am I gonna do? Just sit there and itch all day? No, no, thank you. And it needs to look good on me. And so, you know, when you order stuff online and then you gotta pay for return shipping, it's just a mess. But I went ahead and bought this shirt, this sweater, because I kind of like this color. I figured it would look good with some simple gold jewelry and just some black leggings. And it is, I think, kind of cropped, but not like super duper cropped. And then I got another shirt that is the same company and kind of the same layout, but it's this nice blue, and it's also got this kind of like sweater design on it, which I just really liked. And they are like a really nice soft material, so I'm looking forward to wearing those around the house. Talking about around the house, I've been wanting to buy some tank tops for a while because I often wear tank tops under like my sweatshirts and stuff like that, and I only have one black and one white right now, and those are the only two that I have. And so when those two are in the wash, then I don't get to wear what I want to wear. So I went ahead and bought this one, which is like a really nice orange. I'm not sure if it'll show up as orange or more red, but it is like a really nice vibrant orange color. Then the same, these are all the same, just different colors, in gray, and then in a nice green color. I love wearing green clothes. I'm a green girly. So I think I look good in it, so I do buy it a lot. But I'm glad I finally have some new tank tops to be out here wearing. And then finally, I bought myself this really nice red jacket. I love red and I really love this color. It is a little bit cropped. I don't know if you often see me wearing kind of that white jacket around the house, and I've been wanting to get another jacket because I'm the kind of person where I'll be like hot one minute and then I'll be cold the next, and it's just easier for me to like take a jacket on and off rather than like putting a sweatshirt over my head and messing up my hair. And so I've been wanting another jacket, and so when I saw this one of a pretty decent material, pretty soft, I was like, I'll take it. So that is my little Target haul. Believe it or not, I think all of this came to under $100, which whenever I spend under $100 at Target, I consider a win. So pretty happy with the haul that I made today. Other than that, I don't think I really have anything else. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys that I am starting to warm up to the way that I decorated these shelves. I think when I first kind of talked about them, I was kind of like, you know, kind of iffy about it. But I was looking at them the other night and I was like, oh, I actually think they look really good. And of course, I have my mom's approval. She's like, they look really nice. And that always makes me feel better. But I actually started like crying when I was looking at them, because if you've been here for a while, or at least this year, you may or may not know that my grandmother passed away earlier this year in April, and I was just thinking about her, and she always did such a great job decorating her little apartment with her Christmas decorations, all the cute little German decorations. You know, the Germans know how to make a good Christmas decoration, and she would send us videos and she'll like record, you know, her windowsill and the top of like her little, I don't know, side tables and all that jazz that had all her Christmas stuff on it with like Christmas music playing in the background. And then she would have like a little tiny glass of like eggnog or something, and she would like cheers us. And I was just thinking about that, and it I feel like for the first time, it really kind of struck me that she is gone. Sometimes it's kind of hard to really fully grasp someone's absence when they live in another country, because she lived in Germany, and you don't see them every day. And so when they're not present, it's normal. And it was like for the first time, I really kind of got hit with that kind of grief. And I know they often say like it happens around the holidays. You start to realize that a certain loved one is gone and they're not going to be here to celebrate with you. And that is pretty true. It hit pretty hard. But it also felt, you know, good to have a cry about it a little bit, just to get that off of my chest. But, you know, now I look very fondly on my shelves because it makes me think of her. And you know, I'm gonna stop talking about it before I start crying again. You know, but yes, that is my update for now. Life is going relatively well, and tomorrow will be the last day of this vlog. I'm not sure if the next time I check in with you will be the final time. I guess it kind of depends on when I finish my book. But if that is the case, then I will see you to wrap up this vlog in a little while. Sorry guys, I just realized that we never did my little Funko Pop reveal. So today is the 6th of June. What the hell? Oh, I know which one this is. I know who it is, but damn is she ugly. Not to be a hater, but damn, girl needs a facial. So there she is. She's one of the little monsters of the town, but she is looking wonky AF. So that is today's Fugly Funko of the day. The boys are back again. The boys are back again. That's the Bean Boy and the Chunk. Yep. Mom got some new sheets. How are we feeling about them? Not so good? You don't look very happy with that tail. Or are you playful? They yawn. Alright, so I'm out and about. I haven't done any reading today, but I just got done at Childhoods and Gallery, which is one of my family's favorite places to shop. We are definitely regulars there, and I got 3 things for myself. I also got a couple cards for my dad's birthday and also to send to my supervisor. I can go ahead and share those, I'm pretty sure. So for my dad's birthday, I went ahead and got this card. I know that I've gotten stuff from this artist before and I really enjoy it, and I just like how much the fox stands out in the snowy landscape. I know it's, let me take it out of its little plastic so it stops like shining. So I just thought that was really cute for my dad's birthday card. I usually buy cards here because if I go to like Target or something, I swear their cards are like $10 and I'm like, what? $10 for some mass-produced card, and these ones are by artists, and usually they're like $4.50, $5. So why would I get some mass-produced card when I could get literal art? So this is the one that I'm getting for my supervisor. It's kind of like a little animal potluck. So I thought that one was really whimsical, and I, wanted to get a bigger card because obviously this is both a Christmas card and a kind of farewell card, so that way I can go ahead and write more. And then I always buy cards for myself because I always say I'm going to make a gallery wall. Will I ever do it? I don't know. But I saw this and I was like, I need that. Look at them. Look at them. I can't see, so I can't really tell if they're like, they're about to have a little snowball fight. Oh my god, I was like, I need this card in my life more than I need anything else. And then I got a couple little doodaddies. This one has a hair attached to it, because of course it does. So let's go ahead and take a look. This one is a lady kind of stopped by me while I was filming the little mushrooms that you probably saw, and she was telling me how she knew this artist and that she's just really talented and everything. And I was like, well, I definitely have to get some of her stuff now. And I decided to go for the tiny chanterelle mushroom. These are pretty popular in Germany. At least I'm hoping it's these mushrooms. Who knows? I'm not a mushroom expert, but they're kind of considered like Pfifferling mushrooms in Germany. And back in the day when I could handle dairy, I would love to get schnitzel with Pfifferling, which would be like these little mushrooms in a cream sauce over a pork schnitzel. You know it's good. That used to be my obsession. If I went to Germany for like 2 weeks, I would eat that every time we went out to a restaurant. They're like, Natalie, what do you want? I'm like, what do you think I want? Schnitzel with Pfifferling. That's all I want. That's all I want in life. Honestly, I should just like eat it again, and if I suffer the consequences in the bathroom, then I suffer the consequences in the bathroom, and it will be worth it because it's the most delicious meal to have ever existed. But enough about the mushrooms. The last gift I got, they always have these like teensy tiny little glass figurines, and I try not to buy them because I'm like, come on. But this one, I just saw it, and I don't even know if it's going to show up on the camera. Can you see him? It's a chick in his little egg. And he's so teensy tiny. And I was just like, well, I have to get that. I mean, look at him. It's the little things in life. Like, literally, like, he's the size of my thumbnail. He's literally, like, the size of my thumbnail. Like, actually, my thumbnail might be, like, a little bit bigger because it's growing. I can't even, like, hello. But here's my thumbnail. And here's the chick. Yeah, it's like my thumbnail is slightly bigger. Anyway, I'm gonna contact my mom right now because she's out and about to see if she wants to meet up. I kind of had a late breakfast because I woke up late. I woke up at 9:30 and I didn't get out of bed until like after 10, and then I got ready and didn't eat breakfast until after I had eaten my breakfast and gotten ready because I don't like to eat first thing when I wake up. So I'm not really ready for lunch yet, but I don't know if she wants to. I mean, I wouldn't say no to like coffee and cake. Well, I would say no to coffee because I don't drink coffee, but like a chai latte or a London fog or just some tea. So I'll kind of see where she is because she's not in the same area of town that I'm in, but we'll see. If not, I might go to Cutter's Point and sit and do some reading. I did bring my Kindle in case I wanted to do that, just to be out of the house a little bit longer, but I just wanted to tell you about what I got because it's exciting stuff. I'm spending a lot of money in this vlog, but you know, I feel like I'm one of those binge buyers where I don't spend money for like weeks and weeks and then I just suddenly go ham. So just the way it works. But I will go ahead and check in with you guys later, probably to wrap up this vlog and hopefully have my final thoughts on Providence Girls. Alright guys, so it is a Saturday evening. It's not very late, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this vlog because I just finished Providence Girls and I don't know how much more reading I'll do tonight. I definitely want to do some editing, and I didn't really hang out with my parents last night because we don't really have anything to watch together, but maybe we will tonight. I don't know. I'm a little bit more in the mood for TV today. You know, it's a little easier for me to sit down and watch TV when I'm not in the middle of a book or anything like that. But I figured that if I do start another book, I would probably only just read a few pages. So we might as well just wrap up here, you know, at a good ending point. So I decided to go ahead and give this book 4 stars. For a while, I knew this was the rating I was going to go ahead and give it. It was a pretty solid 4-star read throughout the entire book, which for me is a good, enjoyable experience. 4 stars is a above average a read for me. So I don't think I have too much more to say than what I initially said. I do want to correct something that I said earlier because I kind of mentioned that Ozzy has some trauma from her past where she felt like her body wasn't really her own, that it almost felt like she was having blackouts. And I mentioned that that happened at a very young age, through the age of 12, which is incorrect because it started when she was 12. I think kind of maybe even age 13, all the way to age 25, where she was having some issues with her body that I'm not going to go into, obviously, because she doesn't really open up about that until the end. But I just wanted to correct that because I did get that flip-flopped, where it didn't end at the age of 12, but rather started at the age of 12. So that was my mistake. Other than that, I continue to enjoy just spending time with these women. I think that just watching them grow and kind of work through their relationship was just, I wouldn't say like thoroughly entertaining because it was like a very slow book, so it's not like you were ever really at the edge of your seat, but at the same time it definitely drew you in and you were definitely invested in their relationship as a couple as well as individuals. By the end of the story, the two of them really had only spent about 6 months together, so this whole book spans only those 6 months that they had before Ozzy's condition just got too bad for her to be able to continue the relationship as they had before. And I thought that it was just really interesting to kind of watch the two of them try to, in a way, heal themselves while Ozzy was just getting sicker and sicker, but at the same time they were just trying to heal their personal issues as well as some of the hurdles that they had in their relationship, so that when the time came for them to go their separate ways, they would be okay on their own and they would be on good terms with each other. And you know, it was definitely hard to read about. You wanted the two of them to be together, and the two of them definitely wanted to be together. They talked a lot about how in media it's very uncommon for the monsters or the queers, the women who love each other, to have happiness, that one of them always dies and the other one tries to move on with her life and either spends it alone or marrying a man or something, and that just wasn't what they wanted. And I do like the direction that the author took this story. The ending actually had me like chuckling a little bit. It was I thought it was a good ending. I thought it was just a little bit of fun on the part of the author there, the way she ended it. And yeah, so overall, just really felt deeply for both of these characters. The author really knows how to get you invested in these people. So I'm sure I will read some more books by them, because I think they have a couple other books out at this time that I've seen floating around. So I'll definitely see about giving those a shot. But I'm definitely glad that I went ahead and picked this up. I think I had got it for free during one of those Stuff Your Kindle days. So usually I don't buy a lot of Kindle books, but I'm glad someone mentioned that this was one of the options for the Stuff Your Kindle Day. I think it was the one that happened in October when I was doing a lot of monster romance, and that I finally had the opportunity to read this, because it definitely had me in my feels. I would say, despite the fact that I took a lot from this story, I couldn't give it a 5-star or even like a 4.5, because I don't know, I felt like there were a few parts where if I had been even more immersed in the story or even more connected to the characters, that I would have cried. Like, there were a few scenes where was like, I really feel like there should be tears springing to my eye, and there was something that was keeping a slight disconnect between me and the story. I'm not really sure exactly what it was, if it had to do with the writing. I mean, it was very beautiful writing, but sometimes when you're reading really beautiful writing, it just seems a little bit out of reach. There's a certain aloofness to it. Not that the author like sees themselves as better, just that they maybe are. Writing wise, a little above my pay grade, but yeah, I'm not really sure. There's just something that kept me from fully diving into the story, but overall I really enjoyed it and highly recommend it for people that are looking for kind of a slow sapphic romance that deals a lot with grief. There's definitely some commentary on like motherhood because of our one character's children. She has children, and it deals a lot also with illness, even though our character is not ill in the way that they are dying. They are at the same time changing into something that can't remain with our character Vin. So in a way, she is changing into something that needs to leave. They are preparing to lose each other, even if they only lose each other temporarily, because they hope that one day they will reunite. They do know that at least for some time they will have no choice but to be apart. So there's definitely that they're working through. And I just thought that it was rather romantic. I thought that it was rather realistic in the conversations that they had with each others, with the hurdles that they had to overcome. And there were a couple sex scenes. I didn't think that they were overly detailed. So I think there was maybe 2 that I would say were slightly more on the explicit side, but if you're not into like really smutty romances, I know sometimes the monster romances can lean a little bit that way. I think this one might be a good one for you as well. But that is a wrap. Let's go ahead and see what our Fugly Funko of the day is, and then we will just kind of summarize this week. So today is the 7th, and we'll see what creature we get. Oh my god, girl! I think it's Sally, and she's not looking too good. Oh my gosh, every day I have to fight for my life to get one of these out. Okay. Oh my gosh. Look at her. Look at her hand position. She's just that. She's so like shy looking. She's giving very, very mindful, very domestic. I don't even know. She looks like a little housewife who's just like waiting around to be told like to refill her husband's drink. But she's not looking really good. Honestly, she kind of looks like that alien from Lilo and Stitch when he's wearing the wig to try to pretend he's a human. So that is the final one that we get in this week's vlog, and you'll have to check out next week's vlog to see what other ugly creatures I pull. But as far as our bingo board, this is what it looks like at the end of this week. We kind of got that little corner, so we're not really close to a bingo since I'm not reading iRobot anytime soon. Next week I will definitely be trying to read The Road Home as well as the Obsidian Feathers. So I'll definitely be getting a KU either tonight if I start my next book or tomorrow, and I am very excited to get into those. I'm hoping that next week we get our first bingo, as long as I don't get like overly distracted by other books on this TBR. I'm not sure if I'll read The Road Home and Obsidian Feathers in one after the other, because I definitely don't like to read too many Kindle books in a row, because I miss the feel of like a physical book. So I think that if I do pick up a physical book, I'm kind of going between Open Water and Withered and Sear. Or is it, no, it's Crisper and Sear, because Withered and Sear is the first one. The Open Water would be the smart one to do, because I definitely want to read, I'm forgetting the name of the book right now, but it starts with an H. And you can see it there on the bottom row, and it's the one between the K-pop star and the American rock star, the male romance. That is the one where I'm like, if I get KU, am I just gonna read that one instead of the other ones that I said? Who knows? Who knows? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, but we'll see what I end up doing. But I think that for the first week, I was kind of hoping to read 4 books. I only read 3. That is okay. 3 is still a good number, especially considering how much I've been reading, or how little I've been reading in the last couple months. I can hardly be upset with this. So I think it was a pretty good vlog. I know I did a lot of chatting in this vlog. It's a pretty chatty vlog, and probably the others that I do are gonna be relatively chatty as well, but I kind of enjoyed doing it this way. It's a little bit less stressful when I don't have as much b-roll, especially like if I'm not really doing anything and not just trying to like force b-roll or anything, and just kind of letting it come naturally if something nice happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I'm kind of hoping that I get this vlog up definitely in December. I actually edited the first clip of this vlog yesterday, but I do need to go ahead and focus on editing my challenge cup video, which is gonna take a long time. Honestly, it would probably take at least like 3-4 hours. I would think. Well, yeah, because it was almost 2 hours long, and then I have to make all the extra little like Canva designs and all that jazz. So I'm probably gonna focus on that tomorrow, and it would be nice if I could finish that all tomorrow, and then throughout the week maybe I can focus on filming this vlog, or not filming this vlog, obviously editing this vlog, and then it'll be up the following Monday. But we will see. I would love to know how your guys's month is going, how your holiday season is going, how your life is going. You know, are we finishing 2024 on a positive or a negative note? Hopefully a positive note. So far I'm leaning towards positive. Hopefully nothing happens to change that. But as always, guys, thank you so much for supporting my channel by watching my videos, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.